All right, so let's just talk about it. It's really getting ridiculous when it's coming to these driverless vehicles out here on the street. I mean, it's almost like there's something going on every week, especially with Waymo, with some type of driving violation. I came across this video recently. I did not watch it in its entirety. I barely watched 5 seconds of it. First thing that I saw was the headline and title, and I was just like, wait, I have to get my reaction to this, share it with my supporters, and to see how my supporters are also feeling about the driverless vehicles that are out on these streets. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video. That's frightening.
Massive freight trucks designed to drive all on their own.
Freight truck?
We're talking about trucks that do not have any drivers doing operations on a daily basis across the nation.
Okay, first things first, how driverless freight trucks are transforming supply chains. There's already a whole bunch of red flags right now. We already have Waymo that's messing up with these driverless vehicles. Now we want these big trucks out on the streets driving without a real driver behind its wheels. Truck drivers, I know y'all have some concerns about this one. Like, seriously.
Rung is CEO of Gatik, the first company to employ driverless freight trucks on U.S. public roads with no human safety driver in the cab. They're already hauling freight for major grocery chains and retailers in Texas.
Okay, so they're already actively hauling specific freight for certain distributors or companies. Okay, it's saying it's starting with Texas, of course. I mean, y'all would be the first state to test this out or be accepting to this. What other states?
Arkansas
Texas,
and
Arkansas,
Arizona.
and Arizona. Y'all are okay with having driverless freight trucks on the roads in the streets. Got it.
The goal? To increase deliveries and lower costs.
Increase deliveries and lower costs. What about the safety? Let's talk about that first. Not only what about the safety, what about the jobs? What about the job security? What about the real human truck drivers that actually practice safety for getting behind a huge freight truck and that are more aware to what's going on in traffic? No glitches there, but okay.
As end consumers, we want our orders as soon as possible, as cheap as possible. So our trucks are working day and night.
You say these trucks make things cheaper and
faster.
But for someone driving in a car to look up and see a big truck like this with no one behind the wheel, how is that safe?
Safety is foundational.
Okay, let's get into the safety aspects.
We first showed you the technology in 2021.
I'm here in Arkansas for an exclusive
Thing
look.
is being tested driverless wise sounds like down in Arkansas.
Smaller self-driving trucks for Walmart, capable of driving up to 10 miles
I haven't
per
seen these yet in Walmart. My state is in the state of North Carolina. We just got Waymo out here in the state of North Carolina. If you live here, specifically in Charlotte, then you will see Waymo is now here in certain areas. I've seen one driving around. There was someone actually behind the wheel, so I think they were just testing out the routes. They're here. It's looking like Arkansas has been the state to be testing these driverless vehicles, just based off of this video alone.
Now, Gatik's trucks travel up to 400 miles.
Okay, so the company name is Gatik. I just saw specifically on the side of that truck, it says Gatik AI. Got it.
Handling middle-mile deliveries between warehouses and stores completely autonomously.
This is when I get back to talking about the AI regulations and things like that, rules and regulations. There should be a specific guideline if these trucks are being operated without a real human being behind the wheel. How long are these trucks allowed to be on the road before being maintenance, before being seen? If we go back again, last year, certain people were concerned or news came about that Waymo cars were not being serviced properly. Thus, that's why they were having so many issues with not parking correctly, keeping residents up in the middle of the night, etc., etc.
Got an exclusive ride along with Apeksha Kamavat.
Okay, so they just hopped in like they were ride sharing.
She says high-tech cameras and sensors give the truck a 360-degree view of its surroundings, guiding it safely through any situation on the road.
How much safer?
Day or night, rain or shine.
The truck sees all of that information in real time, creates an understanding of what the world looks like right now, how it will evolve.
I watched as the truck navigated highways and heavy traffic.
Whoa, I gotta say, that was a pretty sudden stop.
It's driving
wait a
jerky.
minute. She said, I must say, that was pretty like a sudden stop. Kind of almost like the truck slammed on its brakes before. You know what I'm saying? But hey.
But
Hopefully she's
Kamabot
being
says
honest.
it's designed for safety, not comfort.
So if someone had run that red light,
We would have been
even though we had a green light, this truck would know not to go?
exactly.
I want to see that.
Millions of testing miles, Gaddick says its trucks haven't had a single safety
That's good.
incident, something we confirmed with federal and state regulators. With 10 trucks now on the road and several hundred expected by year's
wow.
end, the company says it's secured $600
Fair
million
enough with
in
10.
contracts.
600, wait a minute. $600 million in contracts are already been approved by this company in itself. Truck drivers. That's crazy. And then there's only 10 that's out right now. So we're in the month of March. So it's expected to be at least 100 more of these trucks out there before the end of the year, I'm pretty sure.
About the very real concerns that this is taking away jobs from human truck drivers.
The
Talk about
reality
it.
is that in the US today, there is extreme driver shortage. What we are helping our customers with
Now, is that true? There's an extreme driver shortage right now, currently in the US? Someone needs to fact check that. I need to look that one up.
is we are helping them move goods across networks and routes that are hard to staff.
But the country's largest truck driver union disagrees.
These autonomous vehicle companies are investing billions of dollars to replace drivers so they can lower labor
Let's talk about the
costs
real
to
truth.
increase the corporate profits.
Period.
The union also
Okay, clearly I didn't have to go and fact check this. It's clearly not true. Like, when was there a shortage? If anything, I thought there were more drivers out on the streets, especially due to back in 2020 when there was COVID. There was a shortage. There's a shortage now. That doesn't make sense.
Gaddick's safety record, given that regulators rely on companies to self-report any incidents.
The corporations that want to implement this technology, they consistently hide data from the public.
Wow. It's really tech about it.
Denies that and says building the safest, most reliable trucks is in its best interest.
Are these driverless trucks better than trucks that are driven by humans?
Absolutely. When it comes to safety, our system on board never gets distracted, is always paying attention, and is always designed to have very predictable behavior.
Wait a minute. So are humans. Humans were here first before this autonomous freight truck even became a thing. We forget that. Like, what came first? The chicken or the egg? Egg or the chicken? That's the type of conversation it seems like people who are so behind the inventions of AI and how much money it can make them, that's where they're trying to basically draft the conversation, right? And the dialogue and the debate. That's where they're trying to leave that conversation. It's something similar to that whole chicken and egg thing. When in reality, it's kind of like, we were here before AI. This worked for us way before AI. Let's not try to settle into some type of agreement just so we can all be comfortable with AI just because you guys want to make more money. That's not fair to the people, to the real human people
Now, Gaddick says
that have
human
spent money, thousands of dollars on money for safety training, certifications, degrees, everything else in between. AI didn't spend that much money or time on that. So we need to see some type of residuals, or, I mean, come on. What are we doing?
engineers are not constantly monitoring the trucks when they're on the road. They are autonomous, but they can take control remotely from their command center if there's an emergency.
Hopefully they can take control over their autonomous vehicle if there is an issue. What if there's a cyber attack? Who's taking control then? We were just attacked last week. So, I mean, is anybody thinking about that? What if there's a cyber attack on a specific company? How are they going to be able to control these autonomous vehicles on the road? I really hope that the networking engineers, security engineers, data analysts, the IT managers, the coding team, everybody. See, because my background's in IT, so I understand the departments and the roles and everything like that. I understand the rollouts, the testing, the implementation, the dummy groups. But a lot of these companies that are behind this AI and autonomous vehicles and just everything that's generated around AI, they're just pushing things out without even having specific test groups, testing for a specific amount of time, testing different theories. They're not doing it. They're cutting corners to get to that quick buck. And I know that for a fact.
down if it's involved in a crash, if it gets a flat tire. Right now, there are 28 states that allow these driverless trucks on the road. Gatik is one of several
I
companies.
gotta look up these 28 states that are allowing these driverless freight trucks on the road. I have to do some research on that, and I will report back.
Developing them. It was really interesting to see the evolution in the last 5 years, going from 10 miles and this little truck to now this thing's going 400 miles, and it's a real freight truck.
Well, it looked like when the truck stopped abruptly, you were sort of taken aback there.
I was, and I asked
So
chief engineer.
she's shedding some light, and she's setting some truth. She said that the truck stopped very abruptly, kind of like a jerk. You don't think that's a hazard to other drivers on the street? Okay, that's a real issue if a truck is stopping very abruptly on the road. Sudden stop can cause a car wreck.
She's like, look, they're not designed for comfort. This is not supposed to have anybody in the cab. We're making sure that it's safe. So if it sees something in the road, Carson, you were asking, like, what if there's an animal or something?
I asked a lot.
Comfort or not comfort, it's dangerous.
Sensors and can see further than we can with our human eye. So that is when they slow
Are you available for lunch? I have more questions.
Well, Al had a great question about
You had a good question, too.
Yeah, what if the weather turns bad?
Exactly. So they are designed for light snow and rain, Al, and they're not going to put them out in bad weather, or they'll have a human driver behind the wheel. So there are contingency plans.
Wait,
when the weather's
contingency plans.
The robots aren't coming for our jobs. The robots are here.
They're here. They're here.
Contingency plans. Okay, which one is it? The truck itself isn't designed for comfort. Therefore, it's going to stop very abruptly. But due to weather changes, then someone can get behind the wheel to help with the driving.
I heard the union's take on it, too.
Yeah.
But who's blowing that horn?
There you go.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's looking real sketch per usual when it comes to AI. But you let me know down in the comments below, what are your thoughts about these driverless freight trucks? This has been AMB.Tech News with your latest tech tips, news, and gadget reviews. Until next time, peace.